All right, so today we're going to talk about a whole new playbook for success. We're going to piece together some really cool ideas from journalism, from tech philosophy, and from business strategy to figure out how anyone can really thrive in this modern digital world. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. We'll kick things off with a real-world example of how media is changing. Then we'll get into the theory that makes a new kind of career possible. After that, we'll explore the philosophy that powers it all, see how trust makes it bulletproof, and finally, we'll zoom out to see how all of this fits into the massive digital economy we all live in. First up, let's talk about the rise of newsfluencers. Yeah, that's a real term. And it's because the whole media landscape is fundamentally changing, and it's happening right there on our phone screens. So, check this out. A recent Pew Research poll found something pretty wild. A full 20% of Americans are now getting their news from social media influencers. Now, this isn't just some small trend. This is a massive shift in how information actually flows through society. And you can imagine this new reality creates some tension with traditional media. This quote from journalism educator Summer Harlow just captures that feeling perfectly. There's a natural skepticism. So who are these new voices, and how in the world are they pulling this off? Well, let me introduce you to V. Spihar. So picture this. It's January 6, 2021. The U.S. Capitol is being stormed, and V crawls under their desk to report on it. It sounds kind of crazy, right? But that incredibly direct and accessible approach launched Under the Desk News, and now they have over 3 million followers on TikTok. And what Spihar figured out is pretty profound. Their success really boils down to this one simple, powerful idea. In a world full of broadcasts and talking heads, people were just starved for a real connection. They wanted to feel like they were part of a conversation, not just another person in an audience being lectured. Okay, so that explains the connection, but how do you turn that connection into, a career? How do you actually make a living from it? Well, the answer lies in this really powerful concept from the writer Kevin Kelly. Kelly's theory is called 1,000 True Fans, and it offers a direct path to making a living as a creator. The core idea is brilliant. You don't need millions of casual followers. You just need a core group, say 1,000 dedicated superfans who will genuinely support pretty much anything you create. And here's the best part. The math is just so simple, it's almost beautiful. If you can find a way to earn an average of just $100 a year from each of those 1,000 true fans, boom, you've built a six-figure income. It makes a creative career feel actually truly achievable. But, and this is a big but, there's one crucial requirement for this whole thing to work. You have to cut out the middleman. As a creator, you need a direct line to your audience, a way for them to support you directly. That connection is everything because it ensures you get the full value of their support. So you can see this strategy isn't just some clever business trick, right? It's really a reflection of a much deeper philosophy about how you build real, meaningful value over time. The investor and philosopher Naval Ravikant just nails it here. He says the greatest returns in any part of your life, from your bank account to your relationships, come from compound interest. And compounding needs one essential ingredient. You have to be willing to play the long game. And this really breaks down the two different mindsets you can have. On one hand, you've got short-term games. They're what we call zero-sum. Everyone's just fighting to cut a bigger slice from a pie that's already a fixed size. But the long-term games? They're positive-sum. That's when you collaborate with other people to bake a much, much bigger pie for everyone involved. So to play that long game and to play it well, you need a currency that can weather any storm. And that currency isn't just money, it's trust. Or to put it another way, it's your reputation. Just listen to how business leader Antonio Madero explains this based on his experience in really volatile markets. A strong reputation, built on a foundation of trust, is what lets a business or a creator survive a crisis. That trust is your ultimate shock absorber. Researchers at Harvard Business School actually break down reputation into these 3 core pillars. For a creator, it means 1, you have to be visible. People need to be able to find you. 2, the quality of your work has to be high. And 3, you have to be resilient. You need to be dependable through thick and thin. Okay, so now let's pull the camera way, way back and look at the bigger picture. Where do all these creators and their fans actually live? Well, they live in a world that is dominated by massive digital platforms. There's this idea called aggregation theory from an analyst named Ben Thompson that explains this world perfectly. Think of platforms like Google, Facebook, and TikTok as aggregators. All their power comes from one thing. They own the relationship with the users. And that, in turn, makes the suppliers, including all the creators, into interchangeable commodities, cogs in a giant machine. And that is why building a direct connection with 1,000 true fans is such a powerful, almost rebellious act. It's a creator's strategy for taking back their independence, for building a durable business entirely on their own terms, completely outside the aggregator's control. And really, as Kevin Kelly himself says, this is the whole point. Instead of chasing this nearly impossible dream of superstardom, the 1,000 True Fans model, well, it offers a much more realistic, achievable, and in the end, a much more fulfilling goal for a creator. It's a saner destiny. So all this leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In an economy that's built on these incredibly powerful middlemen who control all the access, maybe the most radical and valuable thing any of us can do is to simply build a direct, trusted connection with the people we want to serve.